Alright, my seat test. I'm going to look at my header board. Make sure it's properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. There's no visible holes or damage. Up top, my marker lights. Make sure it's properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. It's clean, the proper color amber. All my rivets are in place. Right up underneath here, I've got some more lines and hoses. I want to make sure that they're all properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. They're not leaking. Back here, I'm going to look at my frame, my cross frame, make sure it's properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose, no illegal welds. I've got my floor, make sure it's properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. All my bolts are in place. My DOT tape, make sure it's properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. As I'm looking down the side of my trailer, I want to make sure I don't see any visible damage, no visible holes. Then I've got my landing gear and my feet and my crank handle. Make sure it's all properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. Crank handle is secured in its bracket, and my feet are fully raised up off the floor. Keep walking back here. Mid-trailer marker light. Make sure it's properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. It's clean, the proper color amber. Handles my left and my right turn signals and my four-way flashers. I'm gonna keep on walking back here. I've got my lines and hoses up underneath the trailer. I want to make sure that they're all properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. They're not leaking, secured fully off the ground. Back here, I've got my release handle and my locking pins. Make sure they're both properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. The handle is secured inside of its bracket and my locking pins are locked. Then back here, again, the same thing that I'm going to do up there. All four parts of my suspension. I got my leaf spring hangers, and my U-bolts. Make sure they're all properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. Not bent, dent, broken shit that are missing. No excessive wear on the bushings. I got my shocks and shock mounts. Make sure they're properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. It's not leaking. There's no excessive wear on my bushings. I've got my torque arm. Make sure it's properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. It's not leaking. No excessive wear on my bushings. Then I got my airbags. Make sure it's properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. No abrasion, bumps, and cuts. Make sure it's not cut, cracked, or frayed, and it's not leaking. And back here again, I'm going to do all my brakes. I'm going to do my brake line, my ABS line, brake chamber, slack adjuster, push rod. Make sure it's all properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. It's not leaking. Brake chamber clamp is securely fastened. Slack adjuster is at a 90-degree angle. No more than 1 inch of play on my push rod when my brake's released. Then I got my inner brake drum and lining. Make sure it's properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. There's a minimum of 1/4 inch of lining left of my brake pad. Make sure it's free of oil and grease. I got my inner and outer rims properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose, free of unauthorized welds. My lug nuts, make sure they're properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. All the nuts are tight. If they were to be loose, I'd see rust around the inside. Axle seal, make sure it's properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. It's not leaking. Then I'm going to go to my tire, my ICD. I'm going to start with my valve stem, make sure it's properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. It's not leaking. I'm going to put the tire gauge on it, get a rating, act accordingly to it. My tire itself, there's no abrasion, bumps, and cuts on it. Even tread wear, and at least a minimum of 30 seconds of tread depth on the tire. Again, these are dual tires. I got spaces in the middle. I want to make sure the tires are touching and it's free of foreign objects. Back here, I've got my mud flap. Make sure it's properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. Door hanger, properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. ABS light, properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose. It's not the proper color amber. If that light comes on, there's something wrong with the ABS system, just pull over at the next stop, get it checked. And there's instructions right here if you want to see it. Alright, back of the trailer, I'm going to start from the very top. Clearance lights, properly mounted, secure, not cracked, damaged, loose, clean, proper color red. Back vehicle lights, properly mounted secure, not crack damage loose and clean, the proper color red. The handle my left and right turn signals, my four-way flashers, my emergency service and parking brakes. Got my door hinges, properly mounted secure, not crack damage loose, all my nuts and tight. My door handle, my latch bar, make sure it's properly mounted secure, not crack damage loose, it latches from the bottom to the top. My door seal, not cut crack the brakes, and my door shuts properly. I got my door ties, make sure they're properly mounted secure, not crack damage loose. DOT tape, properly mounted secure, not crack damage loose. Properly mounted secure, not crack damage loose.